Good evening, everyone. This is Bremster, and tonight I'm coming to you with a puzzle that was specifically created as a warm up for March of the Quads. So, in 3 days now, hopefully, the puzzle pack March of the Quads is being released. This is a pack that I have helped coordinate, and it will consist of at least, but probably only 40 quadruple puzzles. These puzzles are being ranked in 3 different difficulties. There will be some short hikes, I think they're called. Short walks, which will be the puzzles we believe will be doable by solvers of all skill levels without too much difficulty, though still be interesting. They may take you a bit of time if you're newer to Sudoku. Then there will be what are they short scenic hikes, which will be the puzzles that will require a little bit more tricks to them, may require a little bit more knowledge of how the constraints work or a little bit more experience with them. And then there will be the treks into the wilderness, which will be challenging for more experienced solvers. Most of the puzzles in the pack are in the first category. About half of the puzzles are in the first category. So we are definitely making sure that there are going to be many puzzles that can be done by newer solvers. Not yet sure how I'm going to do the competition this month because this is just being released as a pack. There will be no reference in this pack to a competition or anything, but I will do something on the channel to make it work. Because of the number of puzzles, I'm also going to be running this into April. So I will come up with a way of doing that as well. I'll probably do a name readout for people who've submitted solution codes by the end of March, and then I'll do something again in April for people who've submitted. So we'll see how all this works. I don't want people to feel rushed and think they have to focus on this purely in March. And there's a lot of amazing puzzles in there. And I also don't want people to just stop at the end of March because there's some really good puzzles in there. So anyway, but because some people may not have seen quadruples, I've done a few on the channel recently, but they may have not actually explored too much into them, or they may have seen some of the puzzles I've done in the past and been a little bit daunted by them, I suppose is the right word. We sat down and we created this puzzle, which is specifically designed to be a quadruples only introductory puzzle. So this should be a puzzle that a solver of any skill level can grab and try. So there'll be a link directly below this video to where you can give this puzzle a shot. And it doesn't matter how new you are. I think that if you're familiar with the rules of Sudoku, you should be able to work your way through this one. That's what it was designed for. And if you do get stuck, this video will be here to help you. So this is specifically designed to help you with March of the Quads and to get started. So with all of that out of the way, let's explain how this puzzle and quadruples work, and then I'll start giving you some help with the puzzle. So this, of course, uses normal Sudoku rules. So in every box, in every row, and in every column of the Sudoku grid, a complete solution will require you to place the digits 1 to 9 without repetition. The way quadruples clues work is when you have a digit in a circle, so for example, this 7 clue, it means that the digit 7 must appear in one of the cells touching the circle. If you have a clue like this 7, 8, it means that the digits 7 and 8 must appear at least once in these 4 cells. So 7 and 8 must be touching this circle somewhere. When you've got something like this, where there are 4 digits touching these cells, you know exactly what the makeup of these 4 digits are. You just don't know what the order is. So you must have 1, 2, 3, and 4 in these cells because those 4 cells are defined by the quadruple clue. In these cells where you've got 3, you know that 1, 5, and 7 must go in here, but you don't know, again, you don't know the order and you do not know what the 4th digit is. So that's how quadruples clues work. So with that, this puzzle is solvable. And as I said, it should be solvable by solvers of all skill levels. So even if you are not familiar with quadruples, please give this a try on the link below because I think this one will be good for everyone. I'm going to give it a shot now, so let's give it a shot. So, as I said, we know exactly what the makeup of these 4 cells are. These need to be 1, 2, 3, and 4 because that's what's in the quad. And that is going to interact with these double quads. So we know that this quad here needs to have a 2 and a 3 next to it, but we can't put a 2 or a 3 into this cell, these 2 cells, because the 2 and the 3 in this box are already placed over here. So this must be 2 and 3. Similarly, this must have a 1 and a 2 in it because of this quadruple, and we can't put the 1, 2 here because they're already taken up in this box. So this must be 1, 2, but we've already said that this must be 2, 3, this must be 1, 2. So this must be the 2, this must be the 3, and this must be the 1. And we've got the same down here. We must put 2, 3, and 3, 4 down here. We can't put them here because they're already taken up in the box. So this is going to be 2, 3. This is going to be 3, 4. So this has to be the 3. This has to be the 2. And this has to be the 4 because the 3 overlaps in these 2 cells by these clues. Over here, we've got 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we've got exactly the same thing here. We cannot put 6, 7, 8, or 9 into these cells now because they're already taken up in the box. We must put 6, 7, and 7, 8 in here. The overlap is a 7. This then becomes a 6. This becomes an 8. Over here we have to put 7, 8, 9, but they can't go there. The overlap is the 8. This then becomes the 7, and this becomes the 9. And we can place those digits very quickly from these quite a large number of very detailed clues. That does give us that this is a 4, 5, 6 because that's all that's left in the box. There's a couple of other things we can get from this, such as this 7 is looking down and puts 7 into one of those 2 cells. This 2 is looking down and makes this a 2, 7 pair. So 7 has to be in one of those 4 cells but can't be in those 2. And 2 has to be in one of those 4 cells and cannot be in those 2. So this becomes a 2, 7 pair. This 7 quadruple must have two 7s in it, but you can't, or must have 7 somewhere, but you can't put 7 in those 2 cells because of the 7 we just placed there. So 7 would go in one of those 2, but that 7 over there sees that one, and we can place a 7. This 4 must have a 4 in it. This 4 sees those, and there must be a 4 in this column, in column 5, up here. So 4 can't go there. This becomes a 4. These are a known triple because we've got these 6 digits in the column already. So this is 1, 5, and 9. We cannot put a 1 here because there's already 1 in the column. We cannot put a 9 here because there's already 1 in the column. And 5 we know must go up here, so this can't be the 5. And this is the layout of those. So we get a fair bit of information fairly quickly from all of that. This is now a quadruple that's left. So what we know from, oh, actually there's something more we can place straight away. And I'll jump to that, even though this is a little bit less obvious. It's a bit more subtle. Actually, before I do that, this can't be 7 because of the 7 looking up. This can't be 6 because of the 6 looking up. This 7 also looks across, taking 7 out of there. Out of these, this is the only thing that can be 7 now. 8 cannot be here, so you end up with that breakdown of the 6, 8, 9. Over here, this can't be 3. This also can't be 3 because of the 3's looking in, so we get to place the 3. We get to take 2 out of there. We get to take 4 out of there because of the 2 and the, 4 out of there because of the 2 and 4 are looking in, and we get a similar thing, 1, 2, 1, 4, and 1, 2, 4. Now, something that's a little bit less obvious is these clues, or specifically this clue here. This 7 quadruple, so we've got those 4 cells for where 7 can go. 7 is at the top is knocking 7 out of those 2, and this 7 is knocking 7 out of that one. So that becomes a 7. Okay, that means that over here, 7 can't go in those, so 7 has to go in one of those 2, which means that that becomes a 2 and that becomes a 7. Now, I've solved a lot of quadruples puzzles before, so I'm seeing a lot of this very, very clearly. Now, 2, 3, and 5 have to go in here. Oh, this is, okay, this is kind of cool. This 1 can't go in those 3 cells, so it must go up here. Because if 1 is now not in any of these cells in this box, so 1 is up here, which takes 1 out of those cells, and this becomes 1, 2, 3, and 5. Because 1 can no longer go in here, so it's forced into these 4 cells where we've already got 2, 3, 5. Once this is 1, 2, 3, 5, this is 4, 9, and that 4 makes this 9 and this 4. That 9 takes a 9 out of there, and 9 must go into one of these 2 for this 9 quadruple down here. So 9 is here, which takes 9 out of both of those. This becomes 6, this becomes 8, this becomes 9. This 9 can't go in those, so 9 is in here. Don't have the same effect down here. Except 9 can't be in these 3 because of that, can't be there because of those. So 9 is in one of those 2. So this is 1579. 1579 without 9 being there, without 7 being there because of that 7. So I can take 1 and 5 out of there. This becomes a 7, 9. Actually, this 1, 5 takes 1, 5 out of there, which takes 2, 3 out of there. This is now a pair. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6 and 8. There is a 6 looking down, so this becomes the 8 and this becomes the 6. This 6 looking up means 6 has to go in here, which takes 6 out of there. This 4 looking up means 4 can't go in there, and 4 has to go in there, which takes 4 out of there. This becomes a 5, and this becomes a 4, 6. That 6 looking over makes that a 4, and that a 6. That 4 looking over makes that 1, which makes that 2, and makes that 4. This 5 looks over, takes 5 out of there. This becomes a 5, 9 pair. And at 5 looking over takes 5 out of there, and this becomes a 1, 5 pair. So these are now triples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, without this one being 6 because of the pencil marks we already had. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And that one can't be 4 because of the pencil marks we already had. Okay, this is a triple as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 2, 3, 6. There's a 2 and a 6 already in this column, so that becomes a 3. There's a 2 there, so this becomes a 6. So this now is the 2. That means this has to be a 1, 9 for this column. Now this 2, 3, is that it? No. But this is now an 8, which looks up making that a 7 and taking 7 out of those. Now, this is a triple, which is 1. Well, actually, before I do that, that 7 takes 7 out of there and makes that a 7. 4 is in one of those 2. Actually, this has been here since the beginning of the puzzle. 4 always had to be in that quad and that quad. So down here, 4 had to be in one of those 2 cells. But this is still a triple. 1, 3, and 4. This can't be the 4 because of the quad. Got the 2, got the 7. Now, 1, so 6 has to go in here because of the quadruple. This is a 4, 5 pair because this needs to have 4 and 5 around it, and we know 4, 5 can't go here. So this is 4, 5. Actually, I would have got that the minute I got this 4, 5, 6 right at the beginning. This would have been a 4, 5 pair. So this has been a 9 from the beginning, 1 and 5. I just missed it. So this is now an 8, which takes 8 out of all of those, but I need to put an 8 around this quad, so that becomes the 8, which makes this a 6 and this an 8. Got the 7, I've got the 2, I've got the 4, 5. Once I put a 6 in there, this is actually a triple now. Oh, that 1 is making that 9. This is now a triple, which is 1, 3, and 6. Without that being a 6 because of the quadruple forcing the 6 into one of those. So this is a 1, 5 pair, so this is going to be a triple, which is 2, 3, and 6. Now the 3 has to be in these, so this can't be the 3. This can't be the 2. This is a 1, 3 pair. It's probably something more obvious I am missing. But so far this has been quite an easy little flow, which is what I wanted for this video, so I'm glad about that. 1 is looking down, making that 5 and that 1. 5 now has to be in one of these. Actually, let's just put the triple in. So this is 5, 7, and 9. There's no 7 there, there is no 7 there, so this is the 7 and this is the 9. This is 5, 9. The 9 looks over, making that 5 and that 9. This is just a pair, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 2 and 6. Gives me a 2, 6 pair. So I have a 1, 3 pair and a 2, 6 pair down here. So this is a 4, 5. Interesting. So 9 has to be in here. There will be... I can't put 3 in here because this needs to have 1 and 6 in here. I can't put 1 or 6 in here since I got that 9. So this can't be 3. This has to be the 3. Because if I put a 3 in one of those, I would be missing one of the 1 or 6 for the quadruple. So this is the 3, this is the 1, there is no 1 in here. Oh, that 9 is looking over, making that the 9. And any of that looking up? Not sure. But we're down to very few options left. So these are 1, 2, 3, 6, and 8. Well, that can't be 8. That can't be 8, so that is the 8. There's no 6 there. There's no 6 there. So, yeah, 6 had to be in here. So these are 1, 2, and 3. There's no 2 there because of that. This can't be a 3 because the 3 in this box has to be around this quad. So this becomes a 1. This becomes a 5. This becomes a 1. This becomes a 4. This becomes a 5. There is no 4 in here. This is a 2, 3 pair. This becomes a 4. This 1 means there's no 1 there. This is a 2, 3 pair. This 4, no. This 1 makes this a 6, which makes this a 1. The 6 looks back, making that a 3, which makes that a 2, which makes that a 6. The 2 looks up, making that a 3, and that a 2. The 2 looks up, making that a 3, and that becomes a 2. There's got to be... Oh, this 9 has been here for ages, resolving that 5 and that 9, which looks back, resolving that 1 and that 5. So that's been there for ages. Or I could have used that 1. Okay. So this 6, of course, now makes this 2 and this 6. This 3 makes this 4 and this 3. And the 5 here, or the 4 here, resolve this as the 4 and this as the 5. And that is how you complete Sith Lord, which was a Skunkworks collaboration, which was created specifically for this video. So we could bring an introductory quadruple puzzle to the channel for people who wanted to do an easy quadruple puzzle. This is pretty much a gas level quadruple puzzle to practice if they'd not done quadruples before, for March of the Quads, which is only 3 days away. 40 puzzles. None of them are really this easy, but the first ones are only a little bit more difficult than this, like literally just a smidge harder. And of course, the hardest ones in the pack, I will warn you, are ones that any video solver would struggle with for quite a long time. Some of them took me 90 minutes or more. With help. So, but they're the very hard ones. There are, even if you decide you don't want to attempt those puzzles, there will still be over 30 puzzles in the pack that I think most people who watch my channel will be able to do. I hope you enjoyed the puzzle, even if it was a little easy for some of you. And I really hope you enjoy the pack. I hope it's not going to be late. There's been some family emergencies that have come up for me. So there's still a bit of work to do, but I'm going to push through to try and get it done. Thank you everyone for watching. And while you probably didn't need it for this puzzle, there's a whole heap in my back catalogue and there's a lot to come. So good luck with your solving.